So look, by now, the whole world know about O Block, and it go by different names: Parkway Gardens, Wick City. But let me show you what was right there, and that whole surrounding area. The version of it that they don't show you, from Calumet to 63rd Street to King Drive, where 600 Breezy, Take Capone, LA Capone, Rondo Number 9, where all of them come from. Take this walk with me, because this the version of it that we see today. But let me show you what it looked like before any of this even got put right there. Because what don't get spoke on is the White City Amusement Park. And it covered all of them surrounding areas. It was over 14 acres of land. They called it the biggest amusement park in the United States at that time back then. The White Light City. And it's a reason why they call it that, because it was a structure so big with lights so bright that you could see it from over 15 miles away. And what they like to tell us, they say that this was created in 1905. But I want y'all to remember, they had hammer and chisel back then. Their main form of transportation was horse and carriage. Just take a look at how small those people are compared to this building. And ask yourself, do you really think that this got put up in 1905? Or is it just something else that they found it? Even when you look at the other buildings that was right there in that same place, just take a look at how small those people are. And I want you to think how long it would take for them to even build something like that with the tools that they had, with all of the other things that was taking place back then. How many architects did they have that was creating on that grand type of level to where they could even make this in the short amount of time they tell us they did? Because look, stick with me. They tell us that the White City Amusement Park was literally born as a homage and recreation of Chicago's 1893 World's Columbian Exposition, also called the White City. But they playing in our faces though. Because look, they say the White City Amusement Park in Chicago was built in 1904 and officially opened to the public in May of 1905. They say construction ain't even begin until 1904. And it just magically get open the next year in May of 1905. Location, 63rd Street and South Parkway, now Martin Luther King Drive on the south side of Chicago. Size, about 14 acres. Man, come on now, a 300-foot electric tower that glowed with thousands of lights. The canals of Venice, a scenic railway, roller coasters, ballrooms, skating rink, and Japanese gardens. Neoclassical white architecture modeled after the 1893 World's Fair. Like, for real, on a serious note, do you really think they could build this? Just this right here alone in 1 year. It's streets and potholes that don't get fixed for years today. And we talking about 1904. Come on now. And I just really want you to soak this in. Take a look at these visuals and look at what they replaced it with. Look at what we had out there and look at what they replaced it with, because we know ain't no way you built this in 1 year. We know who was living out there, the same people who descendants is living out there today. They plan on people top non-stop. It get deeper, because even this right here, this was a part of it too. You see how big this is, right? And this was just a restaurant. This was just a restaurant that was out there. We see the liquor stores and everything else they done threw up nowadays. What happened to this? What happened to this though? Like, all jokes aside, what happened to this? Can they answer that for us? And let me show you what else was out there. The Columbian's Exposition, they tell you that the White City Amusement Park got modeled after. This is it. This is what else was in Chicago. Miles apart. It was only miles apart. And I'm going to just go over some of these visuals real quick, because they got the same story. They try to tell us that this got made in just a little bit over 6 months. All right, come on now. Come on now. 6 months. Do you see this? 6 months. It's the same thing with this. You got to know. They did not build this in those 6 months. And them same people who out there today, their ancestors is the same ones who built this, got it stole, and them people found it. They found it. They even had an electrical sidewalk off the pier. And you got to realize, we don't even see these type of things today. Who are they playing with? And why are they capping so much on what was really taking place back then? Because look, The electrical sidewalk, one of the coolest, most futuristic features of White City Amusement Park, and something that really captured the imagination of early 1900s visitors, because they was visiting. That's why they look so out of place in them pictures, because they was just out there looking. They ain't build nothing. They ain't had no parts in the construction or nothing. They was out there visiting. It was a motorized walkway, a moving platform that carried people smoothly around parts of the park. Visitors could stand still and glide along or walk on it to move faster, kind of like an early version of today's airport moving walkways. But they don't tell us about this. They don't teach them in school about this. How many people in Chicago was getting taught about this versus all of them other cap stories that they tell about what was taking place in the city? And look, I'ma glaze over these just not to make the video too long, but the same way they was having all of those other quote-unquote accidental fires burning everything down, you gotta know, same thing took place at the White City Amusement Park. And there was multiple of them, back to back. But when you got something that grand, something that beautiful, you gotta know they would take way more precautions. Things like that not just gonna accidentally happen back to back. When it comes to this one in 1927, they say this fire is often cited as the beginning of the end. The fire spread rapidly, destroying the iconic tower which had survived prior fires. Sound like they was trying to get to it, and there was things stopping them, and they finally did what they was setting out to do the whole time, so they could start their whole plans and really push forward the vision they seen for the city, which we see playing out today. Before I end the video, just take a look at what was really out there before the things we see today. And the fact that some of these buildings are still up, like the Art Institute of Chicago, but they tell us it was temporary though. So just realize everything ain't what it seemed, and they didn't put a lot of things under the rug and made it seem as if it was one way, but now we see it was a whole different story back then. But what you think about it? Did you ever get taught about the White City Amusement Park? Or it got swept under the rug for you too?